Hello, Twitch. I am so excited to be streaming today. My name is Morbid Mind. I'm the CEO of Xzile Esports, and we're going to be streaming a podcast episode today. If you're in chat, I appreciate you. I will be looking at the chat, trying to catch some questions if we have any questions coming through. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for watching the stream. If you ever want to catch us live, you can come hang out with us on Twitch at Xzile Esports. If you ever want to catch our VODs, we upload them to YouTube, so you can go check us out on YouTube as well. Today I have some lovely guests with me. I'm going to bring them in a second. But we're very excited to get started with the podcast today. Thank you so much for the follows. I appreciate it. Pagan and Kid Victory, thank you so much. Alright, so let me switch my screen. Alright. Hello.
Woo! We're here.
How are you all today? We are finally here. We had to reschedule a couple of times because Buffy and I got sick, but we are here and we are ready.
Whoops. My bad.
Right. Oops. I'm really excited. Again, everyone who's in chat, my name is Morbid Mind. I'll be hosting the podcast episode today, and I'm super excited to be highlighting the women of Xzile, and today's episode's really special. We have H3yLavender, who is a VTuber and content creator, but also our content creator manager. She does a lot of Overwatch streams and occasionally some streams with friends, playing co-op games and stuff like that. We have also the beautiful Buffy, BuffbarBarianBabe, who is a variety streamer, but really like a fitness Overwatch content creator, and she'll definitely tell you more about all of the amount of things that she does. She's up and down and all around, and we love her, but she is our social media manager, our social media specialist here at Xzile Esports. And so I'm excited to talk to them, get to know them a little bit more, and you all can get to know them a little bit more and how amazing and awesome they are. And all the great things that they do on their own personal channels, but also all the cool things that they get to do here at Xzile. So without further ado, girlies, I'm wondering, what first drew you to gaming? What got you into this gaming world?
Oh my god. I always talk about this all the time, that gaming was one of my first actual loves and one of my first actual hobbies. When I was much younger, I literally was like 5-6 years old. We used to spend summers with my grandma, and I have 2 cousins that are around my age. And she had an old NES, and we used to do speed runs, or we used to do competitions for Super Mario, the original, Super Mario Brothers 3, Dr. Mario, Tetris. We used to do speed runs or rotate games, and that was my earliest memory gaming. And it was literally just spending summers with my cousins playing on that NES for hours and hours at a time in my grandparents' bedroom. And it was on an old box TV, like this really old TV. And we would be there like 7-8 hours, and my grandma would always struggle to get us out of the room because that was like what we did. That kind of, I think, shaped me to grow up, was spending summers with my cousins, going from playing the NES to the SNES. And when my cousin got the PS1, we'd spend summers playing on the PS1. And then she eventually got the PS2, and I know we weren't supposed to play this at the time, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and one of us would have the map, and we'd be with the maps and the guides on the floor trying to figure out how to beat the game. And those were some of my earliest memories, was literally just gaming with my cousins. And it's something that it's not so much that I was drawn to it, but it's just been a part of my life because it's so ingrained in familia, it's so ingrained in my identity with my cousins. And I think that as I grew up, that kind of stayed with me. So it wasn't so much that I was drawn to gaming as I kind of grew into it,
Right. What about you, Lavender? What first got you into gaming?
Mine's a little similar with like connecting with family. I more so, my father's the one who really got me into it. He had gotten a GameCube. I don't remember what that was called for a hot minute. Jesus. He bought a GameCube originally for himself, but around that time, my brother and I were like really kind of interested in anything. And the first game that like I have very vivid memories of being so competitive with against my brother is just Super Mario Sunshine. We were trying to see who can beat the game first. I still have yet to beat that game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I still have yet to actually finish that game. And I've always wanted to go back to that game and finish it. Okay. We'll see if that ever happens. Ever. But I grew up more so with like all the Nintendo stuff. So the GameCube, the Wii. Wii Fit at one point in time was what I was obsessed with. I was a Just Dance girly.
Oh,
when I say I was a Just Dance girly, every year a new one came out for the longest time. I would always get a new one. I would always get it.
Aww.
I don't know how I survived dancing to Rasputin. I don't know how I survived dancing to that one.
Oh my god.
Because I got bad hips, I got bad knees.
Oh my god.
Even as a kid, I got bad hips and bad knees.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And I just continued like from there. The first time I actually got off of any Nintendo games was I bought myself an Xbox 360 that my brother and I shared. But I bought it, and that was the first time I really got into gaming, while Destiny was the very first like game outside of anything that was online that I played, and it just went on from there.
Oh, love that. Was there any specific moment when you all decided to pursue gaming or streaming seriously?
COVID. COVID. I got furloughed from my job as a personal trainer. Not to say that I still don't train. I've been a trainer for going on a decade. And I was used to being super interactive with people all the time. And when I didn't have that, I became very depressed. And it was actually my husband, who was then my boyfriend at the time, suggested, he goes, "Hey, why don't you try streaming?" And I didn't really understand that at the time. He actually showed me Twitch. And we literally purchased a PC in December of 2019 using the Black Friday sale. And that was the PC that's right here. I still have it. And that would have been my first PC since I was roughly about, I want to say like 13, 14, 15 years old. It was my first PC as an adult. And I started streaming and I started playing Borderlands was it Borderlands 3? It was Borderlands 3, I think. And I started playing that because when we had moved in early on, we didn't have TV, we didn't have a lot of money, so I used to play on my old Xbox 360 and used to play Borderlands. And I did like so many speed runs, I did completion runs, and I just had fallen in love with the franchise, and this was Borderlands 1, 2, and the prequel, so I played all the games. And that was my first actual like game. I had actually started to stream. But it wasn't until, I want to say, closer to when I became a part of the Twitch Latin Guild, which was, I want to say 2024, that I said, you know what, I need to start taking this really seriously. I see all of these amazing creators getting into this, doing all these amazing things, all these amazing opportunities. And I went to PAX 2020. PAX 2020 was the last one I went to. It was PAX South. And it kind of started that at that point I had started to really kind of think about taking it seriously, but I didn't have the luxury because I was working full time at the time. Well, way over full time. And it was very hard to stream, do content creation. And it was about finding that balance, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I kind of exploded on TikTok in late 2020 that I really said, okay, I could start doing some more fitness stuff. But gaming kind of took a little bit of a backseat. I didn't seriously start considering gaming as like a career and content creation as a career until probably 2023, 2024. And esports kind of came along with that when I joined the league I was in previously and kind of helped build that up from the ground up. And it was more of like some friends just starting this thing. So it was kind of like a gradual, again, another part of my life has just been a gradual evolution to start taking it seriously. And after I started taking it seriously, it's kind of been just kind of hitting the ground running, but it wasn't like it wasn't a decision per se. It was more I became a gamer, a streamer, a content creator, and working in this industry out of necessity, and I learned to love it. So that's kind of a little bit about how I got into it. It was a very COVID was a good time. COVID did a lot for me in terms of gaming, and I know I'm not the only person this has happened to, but I'd say literally it was the moment was when my husband said, "Why don't you try streaming?" That was literally the one moment in 2020. In March, I can actually tell you the date because I got furloughed March 17th. It was March 20th of 2020 is when he said, "Hey, why don't you try this?"
Wow.
And here we are. Yeah,
Wow.
here we are.
Yeah, that's amazing. What about you, Lavender? What was there any specific moment for you?
So, I originally tried to start streaming as like an artist back in 2018.
Oh.
Oh.
Like 2019, roughly. That is when I actually originally started because a mutual of mine when I was in college, she was also streaming, and that kind of like, okay, I just recently got a PC. I don't need to have like a camera. It doesn't have to be fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the time nor the capacity because I was still in college at the time.
Right.
Trying to figure
Rude.
out what was going on as well. I had so many things going on. I was trying to figure out job situations because like around that time too, I was starting to graduate with my bachelor's degree. So I was trying to figure things out with jobs and whatnot. I'm just like, I can't stream like I want to. I can't even make the art that I want to right now. Fast forward to last summer, actually last May, one of my coworkers, her husband was getting rid of his PC.
Okay.
I bought it from her because that it was a much better PC than what I've already had because it was bare bones. What I had previously was bare bones. And I'm just like, okay, I'm on an esports league. I'm on a team. That's been a journey. And that's been a journey up too. And I'm just like, I've been wanting to do this. I've been Pagan of the Night, who's another streamer. I've been his duo for fucking ever at this point in time. I want to fucking do it. I want to. So like immediately once I got it, I started streaming and I've learned to take like, okay, I need a hiatus. It's gonna happen. I'm traveling anyways. This is gonna be a good hiatus for me. And it's just kind of progressed from there. And hasn't hit a whole year yet for my first like fully streaming. So it's been really wild. And I think the biggest point like recently too was in October for DreamHacks Atlanta, Buff was there. I was in awe of everything, and that's when I rebranded and I started to take things a lot more serious with posting posting everything and upping my game essentially with everything. She spun up my ass about it too.
That's a good friend right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What are some challenges that you all faced early on, and how did you kind of overcome those challenges?
The biggest one I think was the time management. It was very hard because, like I said, I was working. As soon as I was unfurloughed and went back to work, I worked as a personal trainer, and I literally, unless I worked, I did not get paid because I was 100% commission. And the struggle that I was facing was more personal, and like I like to talk about finances and be pretty transparent. I was struggling. I went from training 32 hours a week down to about 13, 14 at best, and that's not a way to live. And I was struggling to make money for a very good amount of time, so I started to shift with that stress, I had to really shift my focus to streaming. And at the time I was streaming 4 or 5 times a week. By the way, I would not recommend that for myself. Again, like Lavender said about like balance, that was really hard to find that balance. So I was having to do that, making videos for TikTok consistently. I was having to make 3 to 4 or more videos a week. On on top of doing the streaming thing and finding balance with my personal and mental well-being, because when you first start streaming, like, you want to grow. Like, I was very ambitious and said I really wanted to grow, but there was a lot to it. Like, I had to balance my day job with getting in my workouts and my rest. Then I also had to balance, I had my relationship and my family. Then I had to balance, you know, making content and making sure I knew when to post it and learning all about content creation. Because TikTok was the Wild West at this time during 2020, 2021. And then learn how to stream. And I remember very early on having these moments where I was like so emotionally exhausted, I would cry and I was like, I just don't want to stream. And my husband, so who's my boyfriend at the time, would say, don't stream then. And I said, no, but what if I missed something like a raid or I let down my friends? And I had this such FOMO, and learning that it's okay to take a step back. Like, it was so hard for me to not work or to not be committed to it. Yeah. So learning balance and when to take a step back was the hardest thing. And not to say that I'm not really great at it still. I can admit I'm not great. I'm a workaholic. But even like this week, I said Monday, I did a 12-hour stream on Saturday, and I was like, I cannot physically go to the gym and be mentally on and work out with community. I need to take a day. And I said, you know what? I can do something on Friday. And then I realized, like, even Saturday, I have a Twitch meetup. And I said, you know what? It's okay. Yeah. But it's taken me 6 years of streaming and 5 years of affiliateship to learn balance. And that's a lot.
Right.
Big struggle.
What about you, Lavender? What are some challenges that you faced early on?
Early on and still. Technology. Technology. And I think it probably, honestly, it fits the chaoticness that is just me and my life itself. That it is just making sure that everything is set up right and I'm using the correct programs that I am wanting. And that's been my biggest thing, is literally just the technology itself. I am not very well versed, and I know this, and I don't and will never claim that I will ever be well versed in technology or computer programming or anything when it comes to computers. I ask questions whenever I can. I'm like, hey, is this gonna work? This is what I have.
Right.
What works best with this for me? And I go and I ask all these questions so I can learn and help better. Shoot, today I was still on my just chatting stream for probably a good solid 5-10 minutes. Instead of streaming the actual game itself. It was fine. I was missing all my shots.
Right. Yeah, the other day I did a stream and I was fully muted for about 5 minutes, and I was like, man, I haven't done this in so long.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. So long. And I was like, well, you know what? It happens.
It does. It absolutely does. And I'm grateful I finally got a stream deck for the holidays.
Ooh, nice.
And that has helped tremendously. Doesn't mean I don't fuck up, but it has helped out tremendously.
That's amazing. Did either of you have any mentors or role models that helped guide you in this space?
No.
She's in the chat right now.
Oh, that's me. Amazing. So so I talked a little bit about it when we went to Brazos Sport College and we did our discussion on women in esports. Mm-hmm. I didn't really have anybody that helped me early on, and me in tech, everything I've learned has been alongside my husband, and I've had to take the initiative to learn a lot of things because I didn't have that mentorship and I didn't know how to bridge the gap on content creation and streaming. Everything I know about social media, I had to teach myself because I didn't have anyone to guide me, and I always felt a little intimidated with asking for help. So I said, you know what, if no one's going to offer me the help, I'm going to find the way and I'm going to do it. And because of that, I started to really structure myself to help mentor other people. And this is why I can proudly say I'm one of the Twitch Latin Guild mentors. I am officially recognized as one of the Twitch Latin Guild mentors by Twitch when it comes to social media and content creation. So hit me up if you're in the Latin Guild. I help mentor our over 900 members. If they need anything at all, I'm there for them. I mentor within Xzile for everybody who asks with videos, and I get a lot of questions. And because of I work a lot with advocacy and being like, hey, as a Latina, we're very underrepresented in even just like having mentorship. What is it being understanding the culture? What is it understanding being the first woman in the space? Because this is not something that's very culturally recognized. Mm-hmm. And I had to make that space to be able to tell people, hey, take up space. You can do this. I had to figure it out, but I'm here to help you. So I may not have had the mentors, but I will be that person for you. And this is why last year was 2025's the Game Hers Awards advocate for representation, because I decided that I wanted to be that person for others. It's unfortunate I never had anybody, but you know what? Somebody's got to pave the way, right?
Right. And I appreciate you greatly.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No, but I am very genuine about, like, Buff has been a fucking great mentor to me. Again, how I got my whole rebranding was because of her helping me out.
Yeah.
And sniffs. I am very much an introvert. I probably don't come off like that on my streams at all, but in person, I am such an introvert. My anxiety can go off the wall. That's how bad it can be. Stemming the entire weekend during DreamHacks. Right. That's how but I had to force myself to also be like, okay, shut your brain off, shut all the negative shit off, and like listen to everything, pay attention to everything that's going. DreamHacks is what really just set me off, just seeing everything and like having a better view of the streaming world, the gaming community, and everything like that. I plan on going back this year too. Hopefully, the goal is up there again this year, and just having conversations with Buff, being in the seminars that she's been holding. Has literally told me multiple times, I'm holding you accountable for this.
Yeah, this is true, real fact.
Yeah. And then I've started holding myself accountable for it as well. To like, okay, hey, get it together. You have to edit. You hate editing videos and clips. I use, and I still do, and it helps me out as much as I can. I use Streamladder to assist me with editing clips, but I go in, I'm like, okay, cool. These are tools to help me edit it. It pulled a clip for me. All right, let me see how I can make it me, not just an AI trying to make a clip itself. Let me make it me. And I've been slowly, it's just now starting to hit, but I've been really slowly figuring out what's working, what's not working, and I've been slowly tweaking and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I look at Buff stuff and I'm like, okay, what's working for her too? And I've also been like, another one of our Xzile members is Miss Witsroll. Her also going off of it too, being affiliated with Streamladder as well, and seeing how her videos have been going. That's one I've been also like been looking at too, and I'm like, okay, all right, she's got her stuff together. Let me take a looky loo over here. And it's really been like a big climb recently. Like even I say this month, even in March, there was a huge climb in the views that I was getting. And I'm a small content creator. I'm very small. But I would get like a decent video, and it would hit like 1.7k views, and I'm like, oh, huh? What? And so it's definitely been like a lot of just like nitpicking of like, okay, what's working, what's not working, what's been working for them, what's been working for them, and just going back and forth with everything.
That's amazing. Yeah. I wanted to bring up just quickly like the other 2 episodes that we did for the Women of Xzile. All of those ladies also said that they didn't really have like mentors in the space, and that really like made me sad to hear that, because, you know, we definitely need to have more representation in gaming, in content creation, in esports, and so I'm happy that, you know, we get to do little things like this where hopefully women who are watching in the stream or might be watching the YouTube video later, to just know that like there are spaces where you can find women who will support you and help you and teach you. And we're definitely like a community that thrives on, you know, helping, sharing the knowledge that we do have with one another. So switching gears just a little bit, because I know obviously both of you create content, but something that you all are both passionate about is competing in Overwatch as well, and something that you enjoy. So what drew you to want to compete in Overwatch?
I kind of got, again, this is like the theme of my life. I grew into it. The organization I was with formerly was just a bunch of homies that would get together every year in December and do what we called Overwatch. And it was just a December/January tournament with a bunch of homies starting these unofficial teams and playing Overwatch. And the problem was it was a very widespread set of homies, right? I started, my very first time ever playing Overwatch was 2017. I didn't like it at the time because I didn't really understand it. I tried it again when Overwatch 2 came out. I actually started watching the trailers and stuff before Overwatch 2 became, no, we're not going to talk about Overwatch 2 becoming Overwatch again, but I started playing day one Overwatch 2, and I started playing for Kiriko, and I just was like, oh my god, this is so much fun. And I started playing it, and I knew nothing about FPS. I'm going to be very clear. I'm a looter shooter. My aim was absolutely abysmal. I knew nothing about positioning, roles, cooldowns, ult time. Like, I knew jack diddly. So I kind of grew into it, and I've been playing since Overwatch 2 started, and I have officially been on 2 different teams over the course of 3 years. I've currently been on my team I'm with currently for 2 years, and it's kind of like I grew into it, but I love hanging out with these people. Some of them are in chat right now. I see them are in chat here. I love hanging out with these people every week on every Sunday night at 8 p.m. I love doing scrims with them. I love just yapping, doing silly shit, or just having a good time. And I genuinely look forward to seeing these people. And yes, our team has changed over the years. We've had people come, people go. But regardless, I love hanging out with them. I love getting us roles and finding scrims for us. I love just hanging out. And I think it's the people that have really kept me in Overwatch most of all. So shout out to Celestial Strike. Mwah, love you guys. I'll see you guys on Sunday.
What about you, Lavender?
I kind of got into the more competitive side. It's always been like I've always been toying with it. I'm like, do I really want to pursue it? Do I not want to pursue it? Because I started out with classic Overwatch, as it's called now, on Xbox. I started out on console as with the controller as a tank main.
Oh my, okay.
As a tank main. And y'all two know I am not a tank main.
Yep.
She's a very good tank. I will tell you, I've seen her compete, and she actually was on an affiliated team. They went up against what we would call it, they're probably like, I would say, probably tier 2, but this team's existed for 12 years. Yeah. And she held them at point as her matcha, like most baller move, got team kill, got play the game. Like, it was a wild experience watching.
Yeah, screaming the entire time and panicking the entire time.
But she did incredible, and she was like, I'm not tank main, and I was like, you are now. She did amazing.
Yeah, and that's really kind of how it went too. And it's just like, I through a person that is no longer in my life for good reasons, he made connections over to the league that I am still a part of now. And I joined one of the original teams that was formed around when they were originally trying to get into Face It, when Face It was brand spanking new, and they had their moments, and we had our moments, and seeing how much Faceit has grown has been like huge, and it's been awesome to see like their growth compared to where they were when we first started. And that team has very much changed over time too, to where we just recently rebranded and have different management now. We, instead of the Lianjie Anarchists like we were before, we're now the Cosmic Voyagers, and myself and Star Smush are the co-captains. So
Amazing.
that is...
Congratulations.
That is... Thank you! Because I had been toying with running my own team, because I did step away from Lianjie Anarchists for a little bit. I'm like, I really still want to compete, but like right now I need to take a breather. And I was already toying with the idea of like, do I want a team? Like, do I want to make my own team? Do I want to join a new team? Like, what do I want to do? And with JD, who was the previous captain, he had brought up the idea of like kind of just changing some things around, and he's still on the team. And we still have the majority of the same people on the team. We had a few kind of step back a little bit that we were talking to, which is a-okay. They form their own team, and go for them. Like, good for them going for it and all that jazz. But it's given me a new energy of going into competitiveness when it comes to like Overwatch, because it's been something I've been wanting to do. It's just to take a diver deep into it and continuing just growing. We, as a team for that league, we were tier 3. We were the bottom of the bottom. As in, we were ranked the lowest. We went 6-0.
Wow.
They did great. They ended up winning their division. They won their division.
Sure did. Sure did. And that's...
I didn't know this, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won 6-0. Every single match that we went up against, we won it. We won our division as well. And it was wild too. I'm just like, how are we still doing this? We were ranked. Many people have said this, and this is why the rank system is as wonky as it is for Overwatch, to where we were playing against Plat. We have bronze. We have members who are ranked bronze. Me too. I'm stuck in the bronze land. I have played literally with like diamond and above and keep up with them. So it's been a struggle over here, bronze land, y'all.
It's hard to get out.
But it's just, oh yeah, it is. But I keep pushing on through, and even though, like, again, I'm stuck there, I still want to compete. I'm still moving forward. I'm revamping my entire team to where we're pushing ourselves further as well. So it's just a continuous like growing as well.
Yeah. What are some lessons that you guys have learned through competitive esports?
Ooh, great question. I feel like mine is more on the end of, because like I feel like I think people forget there's staff who run the stuff, but I've like that I've things that I've learned there, but I've also learned stuff as a player. And I think the biggest thing is to honestly humble yourselves and ask for help. Like, I actually hired a coach, and I've done coaching. I always talk about this, that I got coaching from the #1 support in the world, and I was like, I want the best who's going to teach me how to be the best. And he's the #1 Ana, and he was the #1 Ana in OWCS when Overwatch was doing its thing. He's since retired, and now he's just a coach. But watching him do the thing, I'll be honest, I did not become a very good Ana. I've tried. I prefer high mobility characters. But my biggest learning takeaway was, sometimes if you want to get good and you actually sincerely want to be a better player, hire a coach, get people who are good at what they do. You know, I am a personal trainer. but even coaches have coaches. So it's always good to ask for help, especially if you want to improve. And this goes across any area of your life, not just esports, not just training. You know, if you need help mentally, go find somebody who's experienced in that. Get yourself a therapist. If you need help with something you're doing physically, go find a professional. Go take a class. Go learn from somebody who knows what they're doing, and humble yourself, because sometimes we need help, and it is what it is.
Agreed. Lavender, any lessons you've learned?
You know, it really does go back into like the humbling yourself for asking like for help and whatnot, but it's also just like pacing myself as well and not becoming too ambitious with what I want in the end. I see the goal, but I want to be there already, forgetting you gotta build up to it. And that's a big thing just for me. And most things, you gotta love the ADHD with all that. And I've really been slowly starting to be like, hey, like, bring it back. Make some small goals for yourself, and then slowly get into it more and more. And then you'll eventually get where you want it to be. Because I know my struggle when it comes to gaming, it's just positioning. It's mostly positioning. Let me rephrase that. It's mostly positioning.
Mine's all mechanics.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I know my positioning's bad. I'm learning. And it's me still learning of like, okay, cool. Yeah, I understand. My boy is Life Weaver. I understand his kit in and out. I still struggle. I can still struggle because I'm thinking about so many other things within the game itself, and I'm just like, okay, let's take a breather and see where we are at.
Right.
This is why she'll never play with me.
She'll never play against me.
No, I'd stress you out. No, but she will never play against me. She tried.
Oh,
I think
yes.
you did
Against
once.
you, yes. With you, yeah, I will. Against you, hell no. I know better.
I know better. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, when we were at the conference, like Buffy had mentioned, we talked a little bit about mental health and esports, and one of my bigger conversations was about setting realistic goals for yourself. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Lavender. It's huge, especially as a competitor, to like really understand, you know, the steps you have to take to get to that main goal. But switching the conversation a little bit, I know we're no longer in Women's History Month, but we did, the goal was to do these during Women's History Month, so we'll talk a little bit about it. But what does Women's History Month mean to you personally?
Oh man, it's like, it's something that I don't think a lot of us really celebrated or really kind of learned to celebrate growing up, because let's face it, women aren't exactly talked about in their accomplishments. And I will say that social media has kind of paved the way for us to have those discussions about the implications and impact that women have had historically. Like, my camera right now, my Bluetooth connection, our PCs are founded upon a mechanism that some woman has actually invented. A woman created Bluetooth. A woman created the binary system. A woman helped create what we know now as the computer. All of these things were made by women, and we don't talk enough about it, because when we grow up, we've always celebrated men's accomplishments in the history books, and very rarely do we talk about women. So I think that being able to have this discussion more, not only opens up the discussion for the impact that women have had on us as people and our daily lives and the quality of life that we have, but the things that we as women need to do going forwards to make sure that still continues to happen. And that way we don't have to worry about the constant like, oh, well, you know, I'm somebody's partner. No, I have a name and this is what I've done. And I'm really glad that this is something we do now. So to me personally, it's more about being vocal about what we do as women and our impact on ourselves and the community around us, but also the impact we will continue to have on generations going forward.
Right. Lavender?
Yeah, and I'm a teacher, and we really bypassed, even in my school, we bypassed Women's History Month.
Oh no.
And it was really weird to kind of see that as a thing that had happened. I'm just like, oh, this is weird. Because the education field is mostly women. Led. And we have very few men who are actually teachers at my school itself. And so just like seeing how that was really bypassed, I was like, oh, this is wild. And I think mostly, like, we mostly have girls in our school too. So I'm like, okay, this is weird that we're not doing anything for Women's Month. What's going on?
Right.
And so I know that even like next year, I'm going to be taking more on myself and be like, hey, like we need to be doing something. Like, let's all plan something, even if it's just for one day. We got to figure something out because how we handled it this year wasn't working. I have a predominantly Black school that I teach at. These girls are going to go far. And they don't know that because of the area that we live in, or that they live in, and it being a Title I school. A lot of people with having like Women's History Month, it's something that they need to see and have that representation for themselves to be able to continue forward and pursue. I am very vocal with my students when I tell them that I have ADHD and I have autism, and that I'm still functioning and I'm still continuing to run a job. I've run in esports. I help with the esports league. I am a content creator manager. Like, they know this stuff about me. I don't hide it from them. So they know, oh, hey, there's some representation here. What can I do?
Right.
And that is such a big thing, especially with like kids. It's like they need those representation and be able to see it.
Yeah. I agree. And I definitely think it's something like we should celebrate constantly. I know that in our last episode, Tav kind of brought up that, you know, we should always be celebrating each other. But I do think it's important to have like special times where we really kind of go the extra mile to really showcase and celebrate women in their respected fields. But to celebrate, kind of coming back to you all a little bit, I would love to hear about some of your accomplishments in gaming, or what are some things that you're really proud of that you've accomplished within this space?
A lot. Like, I mentioned a little bit about it before. You know, I'm one of the Game Hers ambassadors. I've been with them for 2 years because I was awarded as one of the 2025 applicants for representation, and I've done a lot of work with that. I was one of the fellows for 1000 Dreams Fund and their esports fellowship, and that's why I got to be able to go to DreamHack Atlanta. I've worked with software companies and helped. I actually started my own like little company on the side that's now starting to grow. So it's really taking me to a direction, work on social media and marketing, and really teaching companies how to spot good content creators, but also how to create their own content and market themselves. And it's just been a lot of different things, you know. It's been a lot of, not just, I would say, in gaming, because I mean, I am a gamer, but I do a lot of stuff in my real life too, and I'm very much I would say a lot of my real life accomplishments are because I was inspired by games. So whether that's I'm inspired to create a cosplay for a character and compete on a big stage, whether that's my fitness routine, I'm like, oh, I should totally try to do this. All of those things I think are small accomplishments, because my resume is getting longer. Like, my resume will continue to get longer as I continue to try to make an impact in my own way, to take up space, but also to provide a seat at the table for others. So I have a very long list, but that's just like, we're going to just say that's just a fragment of the cool things I've gotten to do in the last year of being a content creator and a gamer.
Amazing. Lavender?
For me, I already still mentioned it earlier, was winning my division for the first season of that league, and still continuing on from there as well. It was also just again, I'm gonna bring it back up. DreamHacks, that really changed so much about how I viewed everything, about gaming and content creation. And I was traveling when I hit affiliate. They had just changed the requirements for it. And I didn't know they were changing the requirements for it. I said, oh, okay, cool. I don't think I'm going to hit that, even though they lowered everything. I was like, I don't think I'm going to hit that until... Anyways, I got an email roughly around the same time, and I started crying. I'm just like, the fuck? Because I never expected how quickly I started to grow, because I had a lot of support. And I think that's one of my biggest things too, is joining Xzile, being a part of another league, having all of that support behind me is new and it's weird. And seeing the different slowly growing and seeing okay, cool, here's all the things that I can do. I'm trying to go to my second convention. DreamHacks was my very first one, because I get anxiety.
Right. Right. Well, both of you are so amazing in your own rights and doing your things, breaking down those walls. And so I'm very honored to be able to work beside both of you in Xzile. And just to switch the gears a little bit again, kind of bringing it back home. What brought you to Xzile? What's something that you love about being here in the org?
Oh my god, the support. There's I think for people who don't know Xzile well enough, or people who are coming in now, who are from our communities, who are hanging out here, or people who see this video, this VOD, because I'm gonna post clips of this later because that is my job in Xzile. I'm gonna go through all of these and have to clip everything. Honestly, the sense of community, and I had gotten acquainted with Morbin. It's so funny. We have missed each other at every IRL convention we've been at. This is not a lie. And I'm like, how? Every time, whether it's bad reception, whatever. But when I left my previous organization, I was like, you know what? I know somebody who does this. I see a lot of their stuff. They look like they got it together. I really want to I want to take my talents to a place that I know I'll be valued and that I can actually make an impact in. So me and Morbs had that conversation, and it really let me to holy hell, a community. My first stream, I was like, who are all you people? And they're like, hi, I'm so and so, hi, so and so. And people who drop in or they play with you. One of my first streams being part of Xzile, I had one of the members drop in, and she doesn't use comms, so she types really fast. I don't know how she does it, but she was hanging out. She was like, I'll play your, she was the pocket mercy, and I was like, holy hell, we've only met once, and just the sense of community and support, crazy. Love it. That's one of the big things I think that drew me in, is because you can see that tangibly on the socials, on everyone's stuff. When you're in the server, it's palpable.
Love that.
And I agree, it really is. The amount of support is fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm the content creator manager, and so I'm able to be there for them and continuously help support them. And I'm like, hey, I need this thing for them. Okay, cool. Somebody's able to help me out real quick. And it's just continuation. If just the whole background of in the behind the scenes of everything for Xzile, just seeing how it all works and how everybody's communicating and working with one another. Even for the Overwatch tournament we just had, the amount of support that was there, and continuously going, and I'm just like, oh, this is wild. Oh, this is weird. Okay, let's go. Let's keep this energy up, y'all. Like, let's go. And with how like I joined, it was just like happenstance of just like you being led to me by Buff, and we were just like having conversations about like some of the things that were open, and like content creator manager was open. And even though like at that time I was still even a new and like small content creator, I had already studied like content creation for like good many few years already, just because I'm very curious. It was one of my fixations. And so just continued on from there. We have just, I think we signed 3 people now. From that point on, one today.
Coming soon.
To be announced. Coming soon. TBD. Cough. And I'm just like, okay, we're like, I can see all the traction that's going on, and I'm like, there's so much support with each person that's coming in, regardless content creator, they're a tournament manager or whatever. It's just like, it's a swarm of support. Is what it is.
Right. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Swarm of support. That's an understatement. Like, first stream in, I was like, oh my god, like 10 people are here. Who are you? Real talk. That actually did happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's been a crazy journey the past couple of years, but one thing that I feel like has always been here is like our hearts. We've always been in this and like really passionate about it. So I'm really excited. Not only that you all got to feel the love, but now you're part of it, and you are also out there and supporting each other and others in the org. So it's huge. I really appreciate each of you for what you do here at Xzile. We're getting close to that hour mark. I'm gonna try to keep it right onto that, because I know Buffy's got girls working.
I will not be off till 10 p.m. guys. Woohoo!
But since it's not Women's History Month, but it is supposed to be. Do you all want to shout out a woman in gaming or esports that you think, like, hey, let's take a moment and shout them out and give them some flowers?
Oh my god, that's a hard thing, because I have so many amazing people that, like, there's literally so many amazing women I've met being in the industry now. Like, as I've paved the way forward, it's been that, like, we're less mentoree and mentor, and it's more peers. There's so many amazing people. I'm like, where do I fucking put them? Like, I have somebody I know who runs an indigenous organization, Angie Noel. She runs Gaming is Resilience, that's oriented towards getting indigenous youth into gaming and esports. So she does that, and that's an impressive repertoire on its own. I have obviously Morbid here, who does an amazing job running this organization, getting us opportunities to do all this stuff, and giving us this privilege to be able to work behind the scenes and do all of these things like we're doing now. Like, this is horrible, because I'm gonna be like, I will be here all day with but like my fellow Latin guildies, like, they're just amazing people. Like, these women, the Hello Sweetie her story incredible. The Mayhem Mermaid was one of the former Latin Guild leaders, amazing. Ashlina, like, all of these women that I've learned to meet who work in gaming, content creation, esports, whatever. They are my peers, but they are inspiring in their own way, because if they can do it, I can do it. And it's the whole mentality of si se puede. And I'm like, every time I see them doing stuff, and I'm like, damn it, that means I have to work hard now too. So every time I get lazy, I'm like, oh crap. So good. Honestly, my list we'd be here forever if I were to name every single person.
Right.
I know you asked, and I'm like, oh, names. Where did they go?
One brain cell. It's okay.
Yeah, basically. I think it really too come to mind. Dinamation is a content creator that was
My
originally on
girl?
originally
My girl,
on a team with Buff at one point in time. Originally starting off with Overwatch, but has shifted over to Marvel Rivals, and literally putting out a video recently, having over 300 hours of playing on Mantis and giving like good information, like making the short TikToks and the short form content about like, hey, here's what you can do with this type of play style as Mantis. And I'm like, okay, I don't play Marvel Rivals, but I'm here, I'm sat, I'm watching.
Right.
And just like whenever I can, she happens to stream when I'm working, and I'm like, I wish I could join in your streams like I used to.
She's early in the
'Cause
morning.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like really like, dang, I wish I was able to, but I'm able to support by watching the short form content as well, and the amount of growth and just like knowing things how how things were previously, just the continuation from there. It's just been huge and just so nice to see. I also have like Beth. I'm going to butcher the second half of it because thank you. She's also really grown and has been like very vocal about a lot of things that have been going on in the world as well. And again, started with Overwatch, shifted over to Marvel Rival, and just seeing her grow as like a content creator as well, having a LGBT child, and learning and being very support and being an ally of the LGBT community. I'm non-binary myself, and seeing like somebody supporting their child where I'm hidden in the closet from parents, it's like, I love that. I fucking love that shit. Like, keep going for it. And so it's just like, those two are like the main ones that do come to mind.
That's awesome. Well, our last question, just to kind of close up and like wrap it up, what's some piece of advice that you would give to young girls who want to either get into competitive gaming or get into streaming? What's something you would say to them?
The biggest piece of advice I have is don't be afraid to take up space. You are a human being with inherent dignity. You deserve a shot at it. So if you work hard, you earn your spot, make sure people know your name, and take up that space, because you never know who else you're going to inspire or who you're going to influence.
Amazing.
And coming from the introvert, be loud. Be loud. And it does also follow up with the taking up space, but be loud about who you are, what you're doing, and continuously going on. Be you. Don't put yourself in like, oh, I need to be this type of content creator because this is the person who gives you. No, if you're not genuine about who you are, you're not going to actually grow with wherever you be in the content creation world. You're going to be stagnant. But being who you are and being loud and proud about it, that's what people want. That's what people are going to see.
Right. Amazing. Well, it's been great talking to both of you, getting to know a little bit more about you and your story and your background. I know we had like a lot of pivots of different topics. It's hard to fit into 1 hour. I'm sure
really is.
I'm sure we'll do so much more and do some more podcast episodes because everyone has really enjoyed them. But thank you all both so much. Again, just to wrap it up, do you guys want to share where you stream, what you stream, if anyone wants to go follow and support you, where they can find you?
So y'all can find me on any social media under my name. My name is the same across everything. Makes the social media specialist here telling y'all, please make sure your names are the same. It will drive people crazy. My names are the same across everything. I stream on Twitch, mostly Fridays and Saturdays in gaming. I am a variety gamer. If you're lucky, you may catch me in an IRL stream out in the world doing something crazy, whether we're riding a roller coaster or going to the mall. And then on Mondays, I tend to do fitness content. So you guys get to come with me to the gym and you can ask any questions and I bust the myths in fitness for you. You can find me there or on Instagram. I have 2 pages on Instagram. You can just look up my name I both do gaming and fitness content, so please make sure y'all come over, stop by, say hi. You never know, maybe you'll end up in one of the videos.
And if you pop by one of the gym ones, you're gonna hear Buff get on to me for not going to the gym.
Real talk.
Right.
Yeah,
Real.
for real. Look, February was good for me. I went multiple times.
Let's go.
Proud of you.
Where can we find
And
you, Lavender?
I am HeyLavender on all of my social medias. I stream mostly Overwatch on Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Every now and again, I will stream a spooky game or a co-op game on Sundays. Those are my go-tos. If you like chaos, if you like a vulgar Southern dragon, that is who I am. That's what you're gonna get. I've been actually trying to put a filter on today.
Thank you.
We're trying.
You know what? You did good. You did good.
You did
Yeah.
great.
Improvement.
Compared to, like, if y'all are in my stream or have seen my clips, you will hear a duck quack every
There's a
other
lot of
sentence,
those.
every other word. It happens. Yeah. I'm pure chaos, y'all.
Let's go.
We love it. Well, thank you, both of you, so much. I'm sure we'll hear from you again sometime soon. I'm gonna hop off and we're gonna send a raid over, but want to say your goodbyes, and we'll
Bye.
see you. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys. Thank you for having
Bye, y'all. Good
us.
night.
Of course. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, it doesn't change because I'm in this link thing with them. Oh, here, let me close this. There you go. Alright, well, to be honest, I'm also a pretty scuffed streamer, so my apologies on messing that timing up. But let's see who we're gonna raid. If you all want to stick in the chat and hang out for a second while I pull up someone to raid, that would be amazing. We're gonna raid a fellow Xzile member, who was actually on our first podcast episode, Miss Swiss Roll. She is playing some Marvel Rivals right now. We're gonna go send her some love and support. She is amazing. She is an amazing content creator, so if you want to check out her, please hang around. Let me send the raid message, subraid, and we'll get this started. There is one more episode of the Women of Exile Wednesdays, so if you all are interested in that, come join the Discord. Here's the Discord link. Come join the Discord, come hang out with us. I don't have a for sure date on the second episode, but it will also be surrounding more of Overwatch comp. We have two lovely ladies who compete in Overwatch, and that's really what their main thing that they do. One of them, Nurse, who does some graphics for us as well, but really kind of getting the perspective of a competitive esports player, because she does play Overwatch competitively for her college. And then we'll have Kasumi, who is strictly a competitive Overwatch player, and quite frankly, like, one of the best, in my opinion, that I've ever had the pleasure of spending some time with and getting to know. So that episode will be really awesome, really nice to hear from the more competitive side of things. But until then, we'll see you all in the next one. Go say what's up to Miss Swiss Roll. She's amazing. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.